Hush puppies, doesn't it?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Chuck was that kind of guy. Like he is funny. He could tell jokes, cut up, loved life, loved living, loved animals, loved his family, loved his country. And Chuck really was a gifted guy that had so much talent. It was ridiculous. Seriously, he made it look so easy. But he paid the price. He read every newspaper. He listened. The wire services. I mean, the guy didn't miss a beat. And
I'll tell you, after being in radio 25 years, decided to cut my teeth in radio from Chuck's influence in the very beginning. I will tell you this. You put 2 or 3 hours in daily on the radio. So Chuck put in 3 hours Monday through Friday. I have done that for many, many, many years. Currently, my show is Monday through Saturday, 2 hours a day. So,
wow.
But I'm telling you right now, you just see the culmination of an expert at work on those 2 hours a day. It takes 5, 6, whatever hours a day consistently around the clock. You can't take off of a weekend because the news will pass you by.
That's right.
It's worse than running a farm.
Quickly.
And all I'm telling you is that Chuck was dedicated. It was evident in the timeliness of his messages, in the details that he brought to the table, and the guests that were booked. And that stuff takes forever to make happen, even with the staff. And so let's not underestimate the hard work that went into that day after day, month after month, year after year. It was incredible to watch, and I'm trying to emulate that the best I can. And, man, it's a busy thing, sir.
Yeah, you're right.
It is.
I just booked 5 guests today to be on this tribute show, and, it can be done. And if you love what you do and you're doing it for the right reasons, God just makes that way, gives you the energy and gives you the ability to do it. And we're all capable, I think, even if you're not in radio, to do something that is lasting, something that will outlive you. And I really believe, like you do, is that we can see the fruits of his labor, of his life, and how he lived it, that people are living that dream through Chuck, and his legacy will continue.
And that's one thing that's interesting. Chuck realized that everybody might not have a golden voice and be comfortable on the radio. Chuck realized it, and so he was like, hey, get involved in Project USA. Get involved in telling the message. Get involved in writing articles. Get involved in your local politics. Get involved in your business community. Get involved in sharing the message. He was the kind of the original guy to say, have lunch with people, have meetups. Now, I know they didn't call them meetups when Chuck started, but I'm just telling you, he was kind of the pioneer of a lot of that, too.
That's right.
And he was all about finding out where your niche is and getting involved somewhere. We can do this together. And that was primarily one of his core messages. I took it to heart and bought a radio station. Never been on the air a day in my life before that. And so he motivated people. I know so many people that have actually taken action from Chuck. Some people got into the energy business and started building like ELU houses and learning how to save money. And people were into the consumer advocacy and the tax cutting and tax saving things. And there was so many areas. And Chuck was a master at having people feel included and encouraging people to grow where they kind of were planted, so to speak, or let their natural talents come and shine for this greatness called America, for this greatness called freedom, for this greatness called opportunity. And really in his life, hey, he started out with some struggles, but those opportunities afforded Chuck the dream too, even though he got attacked for it and everything else. He did live a wonderful life, and he did have that dream, and he was successful, and he brought that to people around him.
Yeah, and never will forget the kindness that he showed all of us and America as well. There's so many people that have weighed in on Facebook for the last several days learning that Chuck Harder has passed away at the age of 74 in Gainesville, Florida. His children, Darlene and Patrick, are listening right now. We grieve with you. We celebrate at the same token, knowing that he was a wonderful man who really cared. And a lot of people, they do a job and they really just don't care. Chuck, he wore his feelings really on his cuff there. He said, "Don't mistake my kindness for weakness." He was that kind of guy. He loved animals profusely. People say, "Where did Chuck's fortune?" He made millions, lost millions. Well, he probably spent at least $250,000 on feeding cats around the neighborhood because they had a lot of animals. I don't know if they spent that much money, but that's just the kind of guy he was.
Well, and he would end every show, too. The mainstream press never got to him. You know, they talk about this golden hammer. Chuck coined this phrase, and it was incredible, and I've learned it and talked about it ever since and given him credit for the discussion. But even Glenn Beck said, hey, I tried to talk about God, and they kicked me off. And when I had an opportunity in radio, some big folks were going to make me on a bunch of radio stations, and they said, Sam, but you got to quit talking about God so much, and we'll make you a rock star. And I said, well, if God's out, I'm out, so I'm not a rock star today. Who cares? But I bring this all up to say that Chuck remained true to his faith, true to his beliefs. At the end, he used to say,
all the best. May God bless. That's right.
And that phrase, in my opinion, told you who Chuck was.
Yeah. Yeah, completely. And we know where he is. He's definitely meeting up with his wife. And I got to believe that there's got to be some kind of parade up there welcoming Chuck, because he really did give back to humanity a lot of knowledge and wisdom and common sense, and saved people millions of dollars across the country, and educated people to make the right decision when it came to voting time, to know who these politicians really were, and called them out by name, and took a lot of risk, suffered a lot from it financially because of that, and through Hillary Clinton and the powers to be, they shut him down. But nobody puts an 18-year audit on somebody unless they were making a difference.
That day that Bill Clinton said in '96, hate radio has caused all the problems we have, then the onslaught happened. And if you want to talk about hate radio, be my guest. But Chuck, as far as I can tell, I haven't heard a hateful word come out of his mouth on the radio. It was all about inclusion and solutions. It was all about opportunity and realizing or recognizing that opportunity. It was all about the truth in the media, truth in the news, and it was all about how do we bring everybody in to participate in this great opportunity. And let's do it from a consumer advocate point of view, hold people accountable. Let's not only hold people accountable, but use that as the opportunity for the next great thing that America has to offer. And so it's interesting to me that when Bill Clinton talked about hate radio, hey, Chuck got the axe as a result of that. But I would submit to you that it was quite the contrary. And if you look at Chuck's life, his whole legacy speaks to a different message, which is a message of love and inclusion and solutions. That's the way I see it, and it's interesting, that contrast.
I believe just what you're saying. Sam Bushman, we got to take off. We got to roll. Where can we listen to your show?
Okay, LibertyNewsRadio.com is where you can listen to a bunch of talk show hosts, myself and Keith Allen. You can check that out, LibertyNewsRadio.com. That's the nationally syndicated network that carries a bunch of shows. My show is at LibertyRoundtable.com. And I just say thanks for the opportunity to speak out about Chuck's legacy, and his message carries on through me and many others. And thank you for the opportunity, sir.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you so much. God bless.
See you later.
Sam Bushman, ladies and gentlemen. Check out his network. And if you didn't get any of that, go to forthepeopleshow.com. and click on radio stations and then on Liberty, and it'll take you right there, and you can listen to everything they got on their network. But Sam Bushman, great American himself and great friend of Chuck Harder. Thanks for tuning in, friends. Heavy heart, but celebrating his life, his contribution for all of us made a big difference. We'll not soon forget Chuck anytime soon, and I know all of you will miss him greatly. We love him. And from time to time, yes, we'll do little shows here, and we're building something, putting something together that'll put together the best of broadcast that you can listen as well online. Remember, For the People, listener supported, forthepeopleshow.com, Keith Allen saying all the best. May God bless.